Hey there everybody, this is Patrick from Lost in Games, and today I have two special guest stars.
Serena, Evelyn.
And today we are going to review Sushi Go Party! Woo! Alright, we are going to open this bad boy up and we are going to give you an overview of the game, and then we are going to come back with our final thoughts. Okay, so here we go. Evie and I are now going to teach you the rules on how to play Sushi Go Party. So, we have the game kind of set up right now for 2 players. A couple things we want to point out up front is this is a variable game, and in it there are lots of different things that can get you points in the game, and you're going to lay them out and replace. So if you have a special, one game may have tea, and it may have cards associated with tea. Or you may have soy sauce instead of chopsticks, and then there'll be soy sauce cards in here.
They give you different points.
And they give you different points. And so what's the goal of the game?
It's to get the highest numbers. So
And so what are these?
these are, you're going to move around at the end of each round. There's 3 rounds, and let's say I got here for the first round, and then I got here, and then I got here for the second and third. But then everybody else was behind me. If I got here and I was the highest, then I'd win.
So the goal of the game is to get the most points, right? Mm-hmm. And you get points by doing what? By playing cards. Mm-hmm. And the types of cards are tied to the different spaces, right? And so based on what cards you lay, you're going to get points. And every game can be different because you can have different tiles on the board, right? Okay, so we have the game set up for how many players right now?
2.
2. And so when you play, very good. We only have 2 players. So how many cards do you get when you play a game?
You get 10 cards for like 3 players, but there's different amounts you get for different players.
Right. And so how many rounds are in the game?
There's 3 rounds.
3 rounds, right. And so in each round, you're going to end up playing all of your cards, right? Mm-hmm. And then when that gets done, what do? You have all your cards laid out, you add up your points.
Yeah, you add up your points, and whoever gets most in that round gets higher, and will get you to a higher level, and then you might win.
All right. And then you get 10 new cards, right? Mm-hmm. And you do it again. So you do that 3 times.
Mm-hmm. And then you pass the cards every turn.
Every turn, right. So that's very important, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't keep the cards that you have every turn. You have to think about what cards you're going to get next turn, right? And so we're going to pull up our cards here.
And every round you add more of these.
And what are those?
This is a dessert. And for the first round, we would have 5 desserts. Then we'd add 3. Then we'd add 2.
So what's special about the desserts? How do they work in the game?
You save them until the last round when you're counting points, and then whoever has the most desserts will get 6 points, and whoever has the least will get -6 points.
So when we just played, the 3 of us with Serena, who got the least amount of points?
You.
Right. Was that very fair? I'm just teasing you. Of course it was fair, right? Because I should have been paying attention in the game to the desserts and laying as many desserts as I can so that in the end I'm not the one with the least and I don't lose 6 points, right? Okay, so let's pick up our cards. Why don't you pick up your cards? And why don't we show an example as we look through our cards. So here's an example. There's a ton of pudding cards in here, which are worth points.
Oh.
You can see there's a...
Okay.
Yeah.
Chopsticks is if I lay down chopsticks and then we pass, then the next turn I can pick up my chopsticks and put down 2 cards, because you see, if I need 2 of these, I can get 2 of them in 1 turn. In 1 turn, because you only get points with the tempura if you have how many cards? 2 cards. And if you have more, then you just keep going. Like, then you'd have different sets of them, and you'd have 5, 10, 15.
Right, and same thing with like these, right?
Yeah.
And how many
But you
do
have
need?
to have 3 of those.
Right. So in a
And
turn,
you get 10.
let's pretend we're gonna let's lay down our first card. So what do? You look at all of the cards in your hand and you find one and you set it down, right?
Yep.
And then what do? 1, 2, 3, Sushi Go! And everybody turns their cards over at the same time. And then you have your cards and then they're sitting right there. And then you take your deck
And you pass it.
and you pass it over to the other player. And then you go again. You pick out the card you want to use. You lay it down. So she just played a chopstick. And 1, 2, 3, Sushi Go!
Now these I'm going to set aside for the next round.
Yeah, so
Actually,
these
the
are
third
the
round.
dessert cards. So these are going to get saved to the end of the game, right? Because at the end of the game, whoever has the most of them
We'll get 6.
will get 6 points. Okay, and we switch cards decks again. And we do another one. 1, 2, 3, Sushi Go! I finally got some pudding.
Now wasabi says if you have a nigiri, then you're gonna times that point to 3. So 3 times whatever that. Last game when I got one of these and then one of those, then I could pair them up and say now I have 9 points because I did 3 times 3.
Right, so by itself, this isn't worth any points, right? So now that you've laid this, you want to lay as many of these as you can, because once you add up all the points, you'll multiply it times 3, right?
Yeah, only one though.
Only
Only
one.
one.
Okay, that's a good clarification. Okay, and then we swap cards. We'll do one more. And ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, Sushi Go! So you got another
So this
dessert.
wouldn't count as anything. So basically all I got was dessert.
Okay, well, so now we're going to keep playing to the end of the turn, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about how to do the points. Okay, so we have fast forwarded to the end of the round, and Evie has laid out all of her cards, and I have laid out all of my cards, and now it's time to do our scoring. And so you do the scoring by going through each one of these and getting the points, right? Mm-hmm. Except for the dessert, which is pudding, which is the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So let's start with nigiri. What do you have?
I'm going to actually add things together. I'm going to use these two to add to each other.
Okay, so this egg nigiri is worth how many?
1.
1, but with wasabi, which you have, it multiplies it times 3, so how many points do you get?
3.
3, right. So you are green, 1, 2, 3. So those are done. And then I add up mine, and I have 4 points for my nigiri. And I don't have a wasabi, so I don't get to multiply it times 3.
But every game you have to play with the nigiri. You can't place it out. No.
Right. Now maki, who has the most maki? You have 1 maki. I have no maki.
So I get to add 6 points.
So you get to go ahead 6 and knock my piece over just because you're mean.
What the heck? Where were you?
And it says the second most player gets 3, but I don't even have one, so I don't get those 3, right?
Yeah, you used to get it.
But I don't have any. I don't have any.
Oh.
So I don't. So that's not very fair either. I'm kidding, of course. Chopsticks. I have a chopsticks. What are they worth? They're worth like 45 points, right?
No. Okay, so if you end with the chopsticks, it's worth 0 points.
0 points.
0 points.
0 points. 0 points. Okay, fine. Wasabi, we already did. Now we have tempura. And so for every 2, you get 5 points.
You have 3 of them, so basically you'd only get a set of 2 and your other one wouldn't count.
So it gives me
you
5.
get 5 points.
All right, and then this one doesn't count for anything. And then we have, huh? No, you weren't. You were right there. You're not paying attention, girl. Okay, then we have dumplings. So you have one dumpling, which is worth 1
point. But if you have 2 dumplings, it's worth 3 points. If you have 3 dumplings, it's worth 6 points. If you have 4 dumplings, it's worth 10 points. And 5 dumplings is worth 15.
And what if you have 0 dumplings like me?
Then you don't get anything.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very fair, does it?
Wow.
Okay, and then sashima, how do you pronounce that?
Sashima.
Sashima, gotcha.
No, sashimi.
Sashimi? Okay, so sashimi.
Sashimi.
Okay, just checking, make sure you know what you're talking about.
If you get 3 of those,
You get 10 points. What do you get if you get 2?
nothing.
Nothing. Well, that doesn't seem very fair, does it?
That does.
Okay. Now, if we get to the very end of the...
Oh, mine doesn't count.
Yep.
Mine
If we pretended this was the last turn of the game, so remember, you're going to go through that cycle of 10 cards 3 times, and then at the end of the game, you add up all your puddings. So I had 3 puddings.
I have 4 puddings. So you're going to, I'm going to add 6 points.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I got 3
And
puddings.
we'd
How many do I
We'd
get?
probably be like at 30 if we did the second round.
Right.
So
But
you
how
have-
many do I get?
so you got 3. So now you have the fewest, and you're gonna minus 6.
What? Minus 6?
Yeah. So
That doesn't seem very fair, does it?
yeah, because it's a game.
Okay, so that
So
is how a game would look, and that was how you would play.
and now I won because I got 1 more than 15, and you lost because you got 4.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we needed to put that in the video, but thanks for pointing it out. Okay, let's move on to our final thoughts. Okay, so we are back here for our final thoughts on Sushi Go Party. So what did you like with the game? I think she liked the game for sure. What did you like about the game?
I liked how you could say 1, 2, 3 Sushi Go every single time you lay down a card because it feels like a party.
It feels like a party.
That's
What
why it's called Sushi Go Party!
That's right. And what do you like about the game? I mean, I can tell you hate the game.
That it comes from a different country, and my cousins live in that country, and I don't like the box because it takes forever to organize because I dropped it on the ground once, and I had to do the whole thing again. And if you put it upside down and shake it around, it will totally go.
So let's take those in pieces. First of all, you like it because you like Japanese food, right? And your cousins live in Japan, and it makes you think of your cousins.
And my aunt had a Sushi Go Party, and we had all the sushi stuff.
Oh, that's exciting.
We had like everything. So this is what it looks like when it is organized.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna show you what it looks like when it is not organized. Okay, I think we're good now. We're good now. Okay. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 people can play, or you can use like a penny or anything as your marker. I'd use a breadcrumb, but
You use a breadcrumb. Probably not what I would use
it's
on my
from
game.
a fairy tale.
It's okay. So what do I like about the game? I
You
actually,
didn't do my dislike.
but you guys skipped me on the like. So what did I like about the game? I like the fact that you could have okay, stop. I like the fact that you could have 10 cards in your hand, and you picked and played one, and then you passed the deck. And that way you not only had to think about the cards that were in your hand, but you had to think where the cards you wanted are in other people's hands. And if you're really
like that too.
smart about it,
You can win.
you
More
can
points.
win. That's right. So what do you not like about it?
I don't like the organization of the box as well, because I did it once and it takes a long time to play this game, and it took as
long to organize the box too. So yeah.
So in favor of the box, I will say this is a nice metal box so
Yeah.
that
It's
it will
not
not
like
get
wood.
destroyed like cardboard
But it
or
does
wood.
look like wood though.
Yes, but it does look like wood. I think it's supposed to be bamboo, Killer.
Yeah, that's the same as wood. Trees are wood.
Okay, and I think
So-
you also said you like how there's different scoring conditions, right? How
Yeah,
every
so-
game you could have a different type of card that scores
And then
different
also
types
you
of
can
points.
lose the cards
Use
easily
like
too. because
if
there's more
you
cards.
want more plants and on one
Ooh,
of them
miso soup.
you
I
could
love
do
miso soup. And then what happens is you will have miso cards in the deck then,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have.
What, but they're in there somewhere, but you have to spend a half hour. So
Oh, I'm
overall,
not doing that. Okay.
so overall, the game lasts about 30 minutes probably for a complete game. So it's an easy, fast, family, fun game that you can sit down and you can play. And the hard part is keeping it organized before and after.
Sushi Go
Okay.
And you have to be probably about 7 to 8 to play this. It's a pretty easy game, just probably the
Yeah,
points is the hardest part.
at first you think it's the most confusing game
And
at all,
it's-
but then after when you get to know it, it's really easy.
It just clicks, right? Okay, so this is the part of the review where we say it's either thumbs down, no thumbs, or thumbs up. So what do we give this game?
Thumbs up!
Sushi Go Party! Thumbs up! Thank you for watching Lost in Games. Don't
And subscribe!
and subscribe to this video. Have a good day.
Lost in Games.
Bye!
Bye!
I am here with we gotta
Serena?
we gotta start over. I said it wrong. Why would you even